Hey guys, so welcome to my channel. So if you're a uni student or you're starting up in September, in the next coming weeks, and you're a bit unsure about which bank account to open, I have just completed my third year of uni, so I am done. So I know, I've been there, I've experienced it, and I have done some research, hopefully, so you guys don't have to do it. And I basically will be comparing the different accounts, hopefully to help you figure out which one is the best one for you. And as well as that, we'll be looking into the freebies. So we're going to be looking into that and seeing what these banks are offering. First things first, what is an overdraft? And an overdraft is basically money that is borrowed from the bank, so like a loan. However, for students it's actually interest free, so you will basically paying back exactly what you borrowed out, and not where you end up borrowing 3,000 but you end up paying them back 4,000. So for students, you're very lucky. There's two different types of overdrafts. So there is the arranged overdraft, which is what you and the bank decide, this is how much money I'm going to be borrowing. And then the unarranged is basically when you just go into minus and you have to keep putting money in to get your accounts back up. So an unarranged overdraft is when you don't have enough cash in your account or within your overdraft limit. So you'll be charged interest on the balance when you're in your minus. So in order to not get charged, you will have an overdraft that basically allows you to go into a minus to save your backs, but you have to make sure that you pay it back. For example, if you have an overdraft and you've spent £50 and you've now gone into minus £50, so it will go straight into your overdraft. So money that you'd borrow from the bank, you're now starting to eat up their money, if that makes sense. So it's really beneficial for emergencies, because sometimes you don't know when something might happen, or you just never know when you need the money, and sometimes it's money that you don't have, so this is very helpful for you. So it just helps mainly if you overspend, not to waste money and go partying and completely rinse it out, more like emergencies, you know, your car's broken down or you have no food left, it happens, and you know you need to go shopping, you just dip into that pot when it's an emergency. Don't get into the habit of keep going into minuses, because don't forget that this money is a form of debt that you will need to pay back. So now I'm going to be comparing the different student accounts to see which bank offers the best overdraft. So by that I mean which account offers the highest amount of money. So Nationwide actually offer £3,000 up to £3,000, and only £1,000 in your first year. So that basically means when you open up an account with them, they are happy to give you £1,000. The longer that you stay with them, you are able to take out up to £3,000. So that's with Nationwide. So these are quite the highest, the largest overdrafts. So HSBC, they also offer up to £3,000 as well. That's quite good as well. Well done, HSBC. They're able to lend you £1,000 in your first year. And Barclays also the same. They can offer up to £3,000 in your first year. So that's quite good as well. The other accounts bank accounts that offer a decent amount of overdraft as well is Santander. So Santander, it's up to 1,500. But it can rise up to 2,000 if you've been with them longer than 3 years. They are able to allow you to have an overdraft of £2,000. Lloyds, very similar as well, up to £1,500, rising up to £2,000 if you stay longer than 3 years. Halifax, only up to £1,500. And TSP the same, only up to 1,500, and the Bank of England, they also can give up to 1,500, but it can rise up to 2,000 if you've been with them longer than 3 years. So yeah, just remember that, you know, it's up to, so disclaimer there, it doesn't guarantee that you would get all that money. You might think going to TSB and you're like, hey, I want to get an overdraft, but then they might be like, well, we can only offer you £500, and you'll be like, well, it says, but remember, it's only up to and not guaranteed. Your overdrafts won't necessarily affect your credit score, so that's one thing I forgot to mention. Somebody who's got 2 overdrafts, 2 different bank accounts, then it probably will affect your credit score. And a credit score basically shows the bank whether you're a reliable person with money. So if you are good with money, it allows them to want to lend to you. For somebody who does not pay back on time or doesn't pay their phone bill on time, all that stuff can potentially affect your credit score as well. So just make sure you're always on top of your money, which shows that you're reliable. So maybe in the future, if you're going for a mortgage and your credit score is good, the bank will say, I like, you need to make sure that you always read the fine print, because they might say, you know what, we can't give you money if you haven't got more than £500 in your account. Or if they're seeing that there's no student finance going into there, they might also be like, no. So it's always important to read the fine prints of what the banks are offering. As I know, Nationwide, Flex Student, they definitely say, you know, you need to have £500 a term. So always make sure that you read the fine prints to ensure that you're on track to be able to get your overdraft. So as mentioned, these are not all the accounts, these are just the main ones that I've mentioned. But what I would say, if you're interested in other accounts, you're more than welcome to do your research. But remember, student accounts are the ones that usually allow you to get an overdraft that is based not free of charge but free of interest. Make use of it whilst you can.